How's it going, everyone? It's Juan Romero here from SwitchWatch, back with another review. Today it's a game called 20XX, which is provided by BatteryStaple Games, so thanks very much to those guys. Is it worth your hard-earned cash? Let's get into the review and find out. Just remember, if you're a new watcher here, then subscribe to SwitchWatch for your chance to win monthly prizes. This month's theme was football. If you see a video with some hidden footage or footage of anything football related, then make sure you comment on that video and timestamp it for your chance to win Gumber 2. First person to do that will win the game. So let's get on to our review of 20XX. In terms of the story, it's very minimal here. You have robotic enemies which are destroying the city, and it's up to our hero to save the day. It's pretty basic. There isn't much of a narrative to drive this game, but due to the way the game is structured, it doesn't really need one. Now, if you like your games to have a narrative, then there isn't much of one here, so just be aware of that if you're looking to purchase this game. In terms of gameplay, 20XX takes classic Mega Man X style platforming and sprinkles in roguelike and permadeath for an interesting mix on the genre. So if that's not your thing, then this is unlikely to change your mind. You start the game with two character choices, Nina and Ace. My favourite's definitely Nina, as her weapons are all gun based, whereas Ace uses melee weapons. There is another which you can unlock later on. In terms of the controls, they're nice and tight, and controlling either Nina or Ace is nice and simple, using B to jump, Y to attack, and holding Y performs a powerful charged attack, and R is a slide button. Holding R and B lets you jump further, and you can jump from wall to wall also and slide down them. X performs an energy based secondary weapon attack if you're lucky enough to find one of these weapons on your run. Each time you begin a level, it will be different. The levels are procedurally generated. Reach the end, you get through a red gate, and you get to face one of the bosses from a roster of some rather interesting characters. Once you defeat a boss, you get loot, have a choice of 3 levels to face next, and you choose one, carry on and get as far as you can, rinse and repeat. When you do die, you start all over again from the beginning. The saving grace here is being able to use soul chips to buy permanent power-ups just for the next run, or item unlocks which can then drop on any given run. The caveat is that you cannot take these soul chips into your next run, meaning you have to spend them all, and upgrades cost progressively more, encouraging you to get further into the levels and improve your character's progression. I found the game for the first couple of hours to be really enjoyable, collecting as many soul chips as I could to get power-ups and spending all my chips on as much stuff as I possibly could. Now, while the game does have that one more go feeling, I did find it to get a tad repetitive rather quickly. Even though the levels are procedurally driven, the levels are over rather quickly. The lure here is getting those great power-ups though. Some of the guns you can get make such a difference to your run. You start with a pony pea shooter, but having a 4-way laser shooting pulsing energy makes cutting through enemies a breeze. And one of the best permanent upgrades is definitely going for the chest that drops at the beginning of your run, giving you an instantly better primary weapon. Now, if you do get stuck with the pea shooter early on, not being able to shoot diagonally is a real pain. You'll have to jump on the platforms to kill those flying enemies. The game handles level ramping very well. For example, if you get to a certain boss on level 1, they'll be really easy, but face that same boss on level 4 or 5 and they'll be a lot harder. They'll have a lot more to throw at you. The levels do up in difficulty sufficiently, and by the time you do reach levels 4 and 5, things start to really heat up. 20XX has a surprising depth of features. There are daily, weekly challenges that you can take part in, and speed runs with online leaderboards, including weekly resets to tempt you into beating your mates and others globally. As well as being able to play co-op locally, you have the option to play co-op online with a friend or stranger, which is great. I enjoy playing multiplayer, but your teammate has to be equally skilled or it can become super frustrating. Personally, I prefer to play this alone. You have 3 difficulty levels as well. The easiest gives you 3 lives, but in return you're not going to get much loot. There are over 100 power-ups to unlock, so you'll be playing it for a good few hours for sure, and having those procedurally generated levels and being a roguelike does work well on a platformer like this. When death does occur, you go back to HQ. This is a nice little hub where you can purchase all manner of goodies. The one thing I wasn't keen on though was having to use all of your chips on an item before the next run, or you lose them all. Collecting nuts within the levels is useful so you can purchase upgrades within the level run itself. Now the upgrades purchased in the run only last for your run. It's useful being able to purchase energy for secondary weapons or health, which really can be a saving grace. I would have preferred to be able to save chips though and use them for better items, especially the permanent ones, over multiple runs, but then I guess the game would be over too quickly. It does mean though that you do have to have better items to have a good run, and you have to have a really good run to get those soul chips. Sometimes because of this, runs do feel like you've wasted your time if you don't get far enough, because once you get further and you've purchased all of the cheaper upgrades, then you're not going to have much to spend your chips on, which can feel a little disheartening. In terms of the audio, music here is very arcade-like. It fits this game perfectly, sound effects are all decent enough, and it's all very well put together, but overall there is a lack of variety and the tracks do become a little tiresome rather quickly. And for a game priced in this bracket, I expected more. Sound effects from your jumping to your dash all sound decent enough. Visuals and performance then, it's crisp, bright, it's colourful, it really pops, and I like the design of the enemies, especially the bosses. I like our heroes and how much Nina resembles Mega Man. Sometimes when fighting certain bosses the game can resemble a bit of a bullet hell. The performance is excellent with no slowdown at all, and when it's all a bit hectic I really enjoy playing this one in handheld. The performance is excellent with no slowdown at all, even when it's all a bit hectic. I really enjoyed playing this one in handheld, it just feels right. I do wish there were a few more backgrounds though, just to keep things fresh. Value, the game is $17.99 or £12.99 in the UK. I think when you consider all the competition, this could have been priced a little bit more competitively, but only a little. The win here is being able to play with a friend online or locally. I love the fact that there are challenges, which adds to the game's longevity. The game will appeal to speedrunners, casuals and hardcore gamers, and it will appeal to those who only have 10 minutes and want a quick run, which this will satisfy. It has that one more go feeling, which means something has been done right here. In terms of my verdict then, 20XX takes Mega Man X, throws in procedurally generated levels with plenty of playing options, and a well balanced mix of permanent upgrades and in-run boosts. The result is a fun pick up and play one more run platformer. It isn't perfect and it won't be for everyone, but overall is a solid addition to the Nintendo Switch lineup, and I'll give this one a 7.5 out of 10, a really solid game here. Now if you're a new watcher here, then don't forget to subscribe for your chance to win monthly prizes with us here at SwitchWatch, and of course for all of these lovely videos that we produce, whether it's gameplay or reviews. If you like this video, then please do me a favour, hit that thumbs up button, it really means a lot to us all here at SwitchWatch, and leave me a comment down below, let me know what your thoughts were on this review, the game, or anything else Nintendo Switch related. My name is Juan Romero from SwitchWatch. I'll see you again on the next one. Take care.
I'm trying to make